In today's show, we're taking a look at the McFarlane Reverse Flash from Injustice 2. So stay tuned. And welcome back to the show, guys. Welcome back. And man, I'm excited for this villain. This is a villain that at first I didn't like. I thought it was weird, this yellow reverse flash. It had a kooky name. But as I started watching the CW's Flash, which, you know, they've kind of, in my book, ruined that show. I loved the first season of it, especially the introduction of this character, Eobard Thawne. I hope I pronounced that correctly. I really wanted to get this guy, and there was only one particular version that I would have had in my collection. And again, guys, this is my collection for my action figure movies, for my stop motion. I didn't want the DC Rebirth. I just didn't like that whole cartoony look to him. And when McFarlane announced that he was having the Injustice version coming out, I couldn't wait to get this guy. So before we begin now on the review, don't forget to follow me on the Instagram. Let's go ahead and jump in first with a little housekeeping. Let's get this out of the way. We get the usual DC stand for the figure, and boy does he need it. Top heavy, falls down. You guys know from my very first video, I've always talked about that. We're going to go ahead and look at the card, and I'm going to say one more time, McFarlane, I love the fact that you're using the toy photography versus pictures from the actual graphic novels of the book. This gives ideas. This shows us what you guys are doing over there. So thank you. Now, if you have the card, turn it around. You guys can read there. Eobard Thawne. Love him on the show. Love him as a villain. And I'm going to tell you something, guys. I've been exploring more of the multiverse and the flashpoints, and I have enjoyed a lot the story of what this guy's been doing. He's been visiting the flashpoint, and it's amazing. So I'm going to take a moment here, pause the video if you guys want, read this. Let's hope it's already in focus. Let's keep going. So we get some kind of an effect, some kind of a punch effect. And it's the same thing as the Injustice Flash. We know it's the same model. We know it's the same face. Different costume, different things on it. We get this punch. We get this lightning that I guess goes in the arm or is developing before the punch. And then this to me gives me the impression that it's some kind of a whoosh effect. Judging by it, it looks like it'll grip to the leg, or when he's about to throw a punch, you can probably put it there, to simulate that, turn it into. But love the fact it's got that translucent look, just like the Flash, the Injustice McFarlane Flash, which is yellow. And, again, this is the reverse Flash. Everything the Flash does, he does it differently. In my opinion, it's a beautiful figure. In my opinion, we know he used the same body, the same mold, didn't do anything different other than add the armor, reversing the Flash, and adding the red streaks on him. Let's bring him in closer. I will say this, guys, before I do the articulation, I gotta say up front, it's gonna be a little bit hard to do the articulation because of the shoulder armor that he has here. The head happens to be a little bit stiff. I was messing around with it. It is overall stiff. I took it out of the package. I didn't do anything before the video. I just wanted to jump in and do the review with you guys. But man, I just love this whole color scheme that they put on it. I like the way he looks in the game. I actually like a lot of alternative look of the figures from the video game. I really like the way the Green Arrow looks in that game. I love the way the Scarecrow looks in there. And if you haven't played it, just play it for a little bit. It's a Street Fighter game with a story. I try to get through it so I can see the story and see what they're doing. I love the way Superman looks on there. I can't wait till McFarlane does a Superman. Let's take a look at the back. One of the reasons is just for me, I've always thought that the Flash and the Reverse Flash being that they're runners, being that they heal fast. I always thought they were physically fit. They didn't look awkward as muscular. You would think that they would be these skinny guys, but they're not. They're supposed to be muscular like the action, like the comic book shows them or the graphic novels. And again, guys, before I say anything else, I'm not going to review the CW McFarlane Flash. I had it in hand the other day. I was excited because I'm a big fan of Grant Gustin. And again, I don't know, and I guess I think I messed up his name. From the Flash, I think he should have been in the Justice League movie instead of. I never liked that Ezra guy. Didn't think he made a good Flash. I always say, if the wheel has been round for thousands and thousands of years, are you gonna make it square now? You have it already there. You had the material there, Zack Snyder, and you didn't take it and use it. I think that kid deserves a chance to be in the movie. If you make a Justice League movie, you should have gone with that guy. But enough said. When it comes to the CW McFarlane, the chest area just looks, it just looks really, really bad. And I was disappointed because I wanted that Flash in my collection. I've always wanted it, and I refuse to go online and pay scalpers the $120 that they want when I can get a $20. Plus, my channel isn't really about collectors. It's more about the animators, what they can do with the articulations of these action figures. And to be honest with you, it also has to have aesthetics. And I just didn't think they did him a good justice there, and no pun intended, in McFarlane. But that's enough said. Why don't we jump in on the effects so you guys can see. We're going to start with this little one. Looks like this is going to be somewhat simple and not confusing, given the fact that McFarlane doesn't even throw instructions. You got to figure it out. Not that it requires a lot of IQ to put this thing on him. So let's see how this would go. I'm going to take him off camera. I know you guys told me a million times, but I got to do it so I'm not fumbling and breaking it down. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap him on the legs to see what this looks like. And so then I went ahead and put it on this leg. Assume he's going to give somebody a swift kick. Get it? A swift kick. And you see the effect there. So let's leave that one there. Let's go ahead and put this second one here. I'll leave that long one. It just looks like it's going to be a pain in the ass. So I'm going to assume that this thing here goes here like this, or it's got this weird curvature, or maybe I'm putting it in the wrong arm, but let's just see here. Okay, so it goes on the fist arm. My apologies, I'm taking long. I'm going to bring him back right now. Give me a second. Just trying to get this in there. Do it here in front of the camera so you guys can see me fumbling and stumbling. So again, I'm assuming this goes for this arm here because of this curve up here. So all right, let me take them off camera so we can get a better understanding of how this goes. McFarlane, this doesn't require rocket science, but it's definitely a pain in the ass as well. I think I got him on. And it's not a bad look. Just you got to fiddle around with it to try to get him to look good. Now, I'm going to assume that this is some kind of power punch. I don't remember if this was in the video game or not. Tell me in the comments if it is. But I'm going to take this one off. Yeah, this comes off easily. Pain in the butt to put on, but comes off easily. And I'm going to say that this will probably go here. And judging by all the vines that are on it, it probably coils around his hand or something like that. Once again, I'm off camera, guys. There's a reason I see a lot of guys out there doing their own swooshing or making it digital. Now, I don't know if this looks correct or if this goes here or not, but we're just going to go with it. And I didn't put it in the open palm. I kind of feel like this is some kind of power punch, you know, that he's loading up. You know, I love practical effects, but sometimes I can see why people go with digital effects to do these things. So again, it doesn't look good, but this is the representation of it. So okay, I'm gonna take these things off. A little ridiculous. Doesn't matter, even if I animate, I'll probably use some practical effects, but the most I'll use digital. And let's go back to looking at it. Again, I've only played the game one time, and I loved when he was there in the game. It's a good looking figure. Love him. Like I said, I know it's the same mold, it's the same face, it's the same body. Sculpture just added stuff to it. So let's begin with the articulation without messing up these lightning bolts. Let's go ahead and move the head. It has loosened up. You know, McFarlane, you could have given him more range, so if you have him leaning forward, you can look forward there. And look at the mask. It's got like these silver points on it. It's just... Now, I don't know if my mask came messed up. Let me put my hand here to see if I can get it into focus here. Let me look at it myself here. No, I think there might be a little bit of silver coming over the nose. Not sure there. I just love how the lightning bolt is upside down versus the flash. So I kind of like the look. Love the silver that's around the neck. Very, very futuristic. Like I said, this is the articulation. This is as far as you're going to get the arm. This armor's in the way. There is, I think, some bicep swivel. So you do get that there. You've got the double jointed elbow. So we know we got that there. You get the articulation in the hand. And you know, talking about hand, honestly, McFarlane, the effects are great, but I think a lot of my viewers will agree with me. We would just prefer switchable hands over the effects, over the diorama effects or anything like that. We would just like extra hands for it. I know that I've been watching a lot of the videos from Bones, and if you're out there, man, it's a big shout out to you, brother. We got the waist articulation. It's a little bit weird. Doesn't have anything as far as an ab crunch. I'm trying, unless I'm doing something wrong, but there is articulation there. He does do a split here, as you guys can see, and we get that double joint knees, so we get that much bend there to get that posing. And you guys know how I feel about the boot coming down, but they put the armor there coming down to the joint. Believe it or not, these joints get wobbly sometimes, and these things help out, but sometimes they do hinder when you want to move them around. Now, I'm going to try to pose him. I can't get over the look. I love the way it looks. You know, the aesthetics of this figure here. Would have loved some extra hands, McFarlane. I'm not complaining. I'm not those haters out there. You know, my channel wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. And I'm not saying that because I'm sponsored by it, but I just love overall the aesthetics of this character. So again, guys, tell me what you think. What are your thoughts on him? Is this something that you're going to pick up? There will be a link so you can get him as well if you want him on there. You know, leave me a comment of what you think about the review of this character. What are your thoughts? What do you like about him? And again, guys, if you have a moment and you like the video, hit the like, hit the notification. And you guys know my goal is to be a full-time YouTuber. So hit the subscribe button to show me that love, guys. I don't have any other information about this figure other than the fact that I was waiting to get this guy. So this is Red, and I am out.